I'm Lindsay the librarian, coming to you from Union County Public Library with the first edition of the Book Report, where I'm going to tell you about the new books coming out this month, read-alikes, and everything that the librarians here at the library are excited about. So these are the books we're excited to read this month. Our first book is A God in Ruins by Kate Atkinson. It is the sequel to Life After Life, which came out a couple of years ago, and it's one of the most anticipated novels of the year. Gillian Flynn, the author of Gone Girl, said it was one of the best novels that she's read this century. God in Ruins tells a dramatic story of the 20th century through Ursula. Ursula was the main character in Life After Life. Her beloved younger brother Teddy, who's a would-be poet, a heroic pilot, which aren't they all, a husband, a father, and a grandfather as he navigates the perils and progress of a rapidly changing world. After all that Teddy endures in battle, his greatest challenge is living in a future he never expected to have. So we also have this available in large print and audio if you're interested. Our second book is When to Rob a Bank, which is something I think we all need to know, because you never know when it'll come in handy. It is by Stephen D. Levitt and Stephen J. Dubner, who are also the authors of Freakonomics, and they also have the popular economics blog, Freakonomics, which it says it's the most readable economics blog in the universe, which I don't read a lot of economics blogs, but I can't imagine them being very readable. So when Freakonomics was first published and they started the blog, and then they've kept it up. So this book is a collection of their favorite blog entries, including When to Rob a Bank. And also, they ask questions like, why don't flight attendants get tipped? If you were a terrorist, how would you attack? And why does KFC always run out of fried chicken? Who knows? But they will answer it all in this book. We don't have any other formats of this one, but the writing is more casual. And like I said, it's the most readable economics blog in the universe. So it's economics for people who don't like economics. Okay, our next book is An Ember in the Ashes, and it is a teen adventure fantasy. It's got a little romance going on, but it's about a rebel slave girl and a reluctant soldier. It's got a little bit of magic, and you mix in some romance, and it's pretty much my perfect book. So Leia, who's the rebel slave girl, is a scholar, and she's living under the iron-fisted rule of the Martial Empire, and her brother is arrested for treason, so she goes undercover as a slave at the Empire's greatest military academy in exchange for assistance from rebel scholars who claim they will help her save her brother from execution. Again, don't they all? This is a debut novel from Sabaa Tahir, and Publishers Weekly, who gave it a starred review, said that her polished debut alternates between two very different perspectives on the same brutal world, deepening both in the contrast. In a tale brimming with political intrigue and haunted by supernatural forces, the true tension comes from watching Elias and Leia struggle to decide where their loyalties lie. It is very good. Action-packed, romance, adventure. And it has also been optioned for a movie, and they just announced Monday that there is a sequel in the works. Our next book is The Smartest Book in the World by Greg Proops, which you might know from Whose Line Is It Anyway? And he also has a podcast called The Smartest Man in the World. Not to be confused with my podcast, The Smartest Woman in the World. This is an electrifying, thought-provoking, and unrelenting collection of rapid-fire references, historical name-checking, satchel-page bon mot, and genuine wisdom, complete with history's juiciest tales and curious backstories. Proops expounds on the merits of poetry and proper punctuation. There's a lot of P's in that sentence. Delivering this wealth of information with his signature style and Proopsian panache, more P's. An offbeat and exuberant guide to everything, The Smartest Book in the World gives you everything you need to know to always be the smartest person in the room. I'm definitely checking this out. Our next featured book is Madam President by Nicole Wallace, who is the former White House Communications Director, but you will probably know her as the current co-host of The View. So in this book, Charlotte Kramer is the 45th President of the United States. Yes, that's right. A woman is the President of the United States in this book. She has done the unprecedented in allowing a network news team to document a day in her life and that of her most senior staff. But while 20 news cameras are embedded with the president, the unthinkable happens. 5 major attacks are leveled on U.S. soil. Her Secretary of Defense, Melanie, and her Press Secretary, Dale, must instantly jump to action in supporting the president and reassuring the country that safety they treasure is in capable hands. But secrets have always thrived in President Kramer's White House. Can you say scandal read alike? And since it was the season finale last week, this might fill all of your scandal wants over the summer. Okay, next we have The Luckiest Girl Alive by Jessica Knoll. This is another debut author. And this has been called, this is a Gone Girl read alike. So if you're one of the not quite hundreds as of now, people that are waiting on Gone Girl, then you can read this. If you've already read Gone Girl, it would be a good next read. So with a singular voice and twist you won't see coming, Luckiest Girl Alive explores the unbearable pressure that so many women feel to have it all, and introduces a heroine whose sharp edges and cutthroat ambition have been protecting a scandalous truth and a heart that's bigger than it first appears. Here we go with more scandal stuff. In a riveting debut novel that reads like Prep meets Gone Girl, a young woman is determined to create the perfect life, husband, home, and career until a violent incident from her past threatens to unravel everything and expose her most shocking secret of all. The question remains, will breaking her silence destroy all that she has worked for, or will it at long last set her free? So this sounds like a good one to read when you're sitting by the pool or on the beach, and it might keep you up late at night, but I never know. Okay, next we have Girl at War by Sarah Novick, which is a literary coming of age. I tried to spread it all around, so this is our token literary book of our picks. This is for readers of The Tiger's Wife and All the Light We Cannot See. And it's also another debut novel about a girl's coming of age and how her sense of family, friendship, love, and belonging is profoundly shaped by war. And the war is the civil war in Yugoslavia in the early 90s. And her idyllic childhood is splintered, and her daily life is altered by food rations and air raid drills, and soccer matches are replaced by sniper fire. And then it also picks up in 2001, where she's now a college student in Manhattan when she's tried to move on from her past, but she can't escape her memories. As she faces her ghost, she must come to terms with her country's difficult history and the events that interrupted her childhood years before. That sounds really deep and kind of depressing, but also very good. All right, our next book is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, who is also the author of the Throne of Glass series. This is a first in a new series by her, which is an older teen series. And first of all, can we take a look at this cover? How beautiful is that? And map. I'm telling you, if it's got a map in it, I'm reading it. So this is, and first the cover. Second, a thrilling and seductive new series that blends Beauty and the Beast with fairy lore. Again, and what else do you need? Beauty and the Beast, yes, I'm there. And if that's not enough, there are hot guys in masks in this book. I mean, done. So I'm not even going to tell you what it's about. If you need more than that, then I'm just not going to tell you anymore. It would give away. So also, preview to what's coming, Sarah J. Maas just recently visited Charlotte, and I got a signed book to give away for Teen Summer Reading. So teens, here's the summer reading plug. You better sign up if you want to win a signed copy. Our last book today is Uprooted by Naomi Novik, and let's take a pause for this cover again. Beautiful. Like, this is a glowing flower. Glowing flower is always a winner. So Naomi Novik is also the author of New York Times bestselling, critically acclaimed Temeraire novels. And this book introduces a bold new world rooted in folk stories and legend that is as elemental as a grim fairy tale. And the main character, Agnieszka, loves her valley home and her quiet village, the forest and the bright shining river. But it's bordered by corrupted wood that is only held at bay by a wizard that calls himself the dragon. And to keep the wood at bay, the dragon demands a terrible price for his help. One young woman handed over to serve him for 10 years, a fate almost as terrible as falling to the wood. I don't know, living in a castle with a wizard that calls himself the dragon doesn't seem too terrible to me, but you know. The next choosing is fast approaching, and Agnieszka is afraid. She knows that the dragon will take Cassia, her best friend, and that there is no way to save her. But Agnieszka fears the wrong things, for when the dragon comes, it is not Cassia he will choose. Spoiler alert, it's Agnieszka, and romance and fantasy and magic ensues. A lot of adventure also. But it's another smoldering fantasy romance. So as part of this, we're also going to feature a special segment on themed books or something like that. So our display here in Monroe this month is on getting ready for summer. So we have a great selection of nonfiction books that have to do with picnicking and gardening and eating ice cream, one of my favorite things, and cooking on the grill. So stop by Monroe and pick up one of those books. Well, that does it for this edition of the Book Report. This is going to be a regular spot on the Union County Government channel. So that's what we're reading this month. Tell us what you're reading. You can tweet us at UC Public Library or follow us on Facebook. And you can hashtag Lindsay the Librarian, and I will respond to you personally. So until then, keep reading, Union County.